Meanwhile, border agents facing a vaccination deadline this Monday. It reportedly could put thousands out of work as Texas braces for another migrant surge. Our next guest just filed a temporary restraining order against Biden's vaccine mandate. Joining us now to discuss, Republican Attorney General from Texas, Ken Paxton. AG, thanks for coming on today. I want to talk about this temporary halt to the vaccine mandate in a moment, but first, let's talk about that summit today with Canada and Mexico. What would you want President Biden to say in order to really press the need for our own national security?
Well, I'd really like him to go back to Mexico like President Trump did and ask for help preventing people from crossing through Mexico to our border, and then also put back in place the Remain in Mexico policy that keeps these people that claim asylum from coming into our country and disappearing for years. If he would do those two things, it would be a really big start to doing something good for our border and something good for our country.
And this comes at a time when we are seeing record crossings, right? The numbers coming in, 20-year record highs, quite frankly. And this is at a time where our Border Patrol agents are facing a deadline of their own, and that's that vaccine mandate. It's Monday. They've got to show proof of vaccination in order to keep their jobs. You've got a lawsuit to halt that. Tell me about that lawsuit and how it's going.
Well, you're right about record numbers, first of all. The president has basically, in violation of federal law, invited people to come across the border, whether they're criminals or not criminals or whatever their background, whether they've got COVID. They don't even test them because they don't want to know if they have COVID. But this lawsuit is designed to protect people from being forced to get the vaccine or lose their jobs. Because right now, these people have a gun to their heads, and they have to make a decision between their own personal health and the vaccine. And we actually have three separate lawsuits, one related to federal contractors, one related to the OSHA guidelines, and one related to the CMS guidelines that affect all healthcare workers that are related to Medicare and Medicaid.
We saw yesterday OSHA was temporarily suspending their enforcement of the president's vaccine mandate. What sign does that give you about your own lawsuit?
It means we're winning. We got a Fifth Circuit ruling that put a stay, so they don't have a choice. They have to stop enforcement because we actually have a stay in place that says to them from a federal court, you can't go forward. And we had to show the court two things: that we were going to suffer harm, irreparable harm that we could not undo if that vaccine mandate went into effect, and two, that if we were in a trial on the merits, we would win. So the court is signaling that we've got a really good chance of winning this case.
All right, we'll continue to follow that. We also saw this week DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He was testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. He was asked just some basic questions. That's my descriptive word here, but it's essentially how many people are crossing the border, how many of those people are positive, how many of them have criminal records. He was unable to answer some of those questions, that line of questioning from Senator Ted Cruz. What did you make of Mayorkas' performance on the stand there and his testimony, the fact that he just didn't have the answers?
Well, I think that's purposeful. I think he could have the answers. They're not hard to find. But the reality is some of them actually he wouldn't know the answer to because they don't test people. They don't vaccinate people. They're forcing, as you said, people in the United States to either choose between their job and their health. In this case, they don't even want to know if these people, so that they're not even testing, so they don't know on purpose, so that they can transport these people around the country without having to answer and say, well, yeah, we transferred people around with COVID. This way, they can just say, well, we just don't know.
Really quick for you, AG, how many Border Patrol agents are we talking about that could lose their jobs if this mandate is required?
You know, I think it's thousands, and we can't afford it. And the reason we can't afford it is because we're already losing border agents. They're having a hard time recruiting because of what Biden's doing at the border, because they're all demoralized. So this is a huge problem for our country.
We remember the viral photos of the Border Patrol agents on horseback, President Biden calling for an investigation that was thrown out by the inspector because it was just a false narrative that was circulating. Ken Paxton, AG of Texas, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.